Hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to class. Today we're going to do some lateral flexion, specifically focusing on Parighasana, the gate pose. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's take our mat to the wall and have a blanket for your kneeling leg. So if we have the narrow end of the mat coming right in against the wall, you've got a blanket so that your knee is supported. If you've got a really thick mat and you've got carpeting, maybe you don't need this as padding, but it can be helpful. And note, I've got the blanket underneath the entire length of the shin, the ankle and the front foot, not just a little bit of that lower leg. So use a long blanket here, and I've also got a brick. So when we step, if I'm mirroring you, it'll be your right foot. Step that right foot out to the wall. We just want to make sure this standing leg is in line. We've got the knee vertically underneath the hip. And as you turn the right thigh out, set your heel, your right heel, in the same line as the left knee. Let's take hold of our brick with the left hand and stretch your arms out wide. Drive the left shin down and press the hips forward. As you press the hips forward, we want to feel this, particularly this left pelvic bone lift up and bring some tone to the lower abdomen. Pubis to navel lifts up. Inhale. Exhale, reach out to the wall. And as you want to reach further, there may be impetus to go further. Can you turn your fingers down, take the hand further down the wall, but just watch you're not sticking the buttocks back. Go on driving the left shin down, press the hips forward, and now the top arm can reach over. We've got the brick in hand, so if you're feeling stiff, you could potentially have the full length of the brick there between your hand and the wall. And even still, if you can't reach, that's okay. Leave the brick on the floor and just reach the hand in the direction of the wall. But potentially you can take this hand further down the wall towards your foot, and maybe you can even lessen the length of the brick there between your wall and the left hand. So now you're pushing into the wall with both hands to revolve the chest. Left hand's pushing into the brick to turn this left chest up. Right hand's turning into the wall to help you sweep the right armpit chest forward. Then you look up. Press the hips forward as you go on driving that left shin down. Then inhale, come up, and we'll swap sides. So we turn around, and again, you've got the whole length of the shin, the front foot, the ankle on your blanket. And when you step out your left leg, align right knee vertically under the hip. Hold the brick in your right hand, stretch the arms out, roll the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. Exhale, reach out to the wall. So it may not be very far to reach at all, but as we intend to go further, you turn your fingers down, take your hand, perhaps you can flatten your palm to the wall, but again, watch you're not dropping the buttocks back. Drive the right shin down to press the hips forward, move the groin forward, lift up the right pelvic bone, zip the navel up, and then maybe you can go a little further down with that left hand, reach to the wall with the brick, right hand's holding the brick, and push. Press to the brick to revolve the right chest up. Turn to look up in front of the arm, not behind the arm, in front of the arm. Chin towards the armpit, forehead towards upper arm. And as you press the left hand to the wall, use that pressure to sweep left armpit chest forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. And let's just pause for a moment. If your knees are willing, you sit in Vajrasana, perhaps you can take a little bit of that front ankle as well as the length of the shin on your blanket. The toes can be off the blanket. This can be a good way of kneeling for those who tend to get cramps in the arches of the feet or have problems lengthening the front ankle. Having a bit of height under the shins, but having the metatarsals and the toes on the lower level. If kneeling is not for you, if your knees don't like it, just sit on your buttocks and stretch your legs out forward. so you have a moment of rest. Then as we're ready to move on, let's move our mat away from the wall so we've got a little bit more space, and we'll keep our blanket there and have your brick on the right side of your mat. So as we come onto our left shin, again the whole length of the shin, the ankle, front foot on the blanket, step the right foot out to the side and take your foot further out than the line of the knee. Start with your left knee vertically under your hip, and we're going to lunge across to the side and pull back, lunge and pull back. So we can sit the hands on the waist, make sure the knees turned out, and let's lean over to the side. So as you lean over, set your ankle so that it's vertically underneath the knee and keep the knee pressing back as the hips are moving forward. So this groin is moving forward, it's not shrinking in. And then we come back out of the lunge. We'll do some of them. So drive the shin down, inhale, exhale, lunge over to the side, inhale up, exhale, inhale up, exhale. Now let's lean. So leaning over the leg, we're replicating a little bit of the pose Parsvakonasana, lateral angle pose. So let's take this arm to the lateral angle. So you're creating a line from the hand through the side waist to the outer knee. Come up, inhale, and place your brick so it's directly in front of the foot. We're going to slide the hand down to the brick. Arms outstretched, inhale. Exhale, lean over, hand to the brick, as if you're doing Parsvakonasana, lateral angle pose. Take the arm over and sweep your chest up. Remember earlier we were pressing the brick to the wall and we're using that pressure to help revolve this chest up. So can you revolve the left chest up as you turn to look up? Inhale, come up, and let's swap sides. So you'll stand on your right shin, you'll step your left leg out, left foot out, and for now, just leave the brick there on the left side, hands on the waist. Again, start with your knee vertically under your hip, and then your left foot further out than the line of the knee. And we lunge. And just get your bearings here. See as the knee vertically top the ankle. Are you able to drive this shin down, right shin down? Then come back and we'll go on the breath. Inhale, exhale. Lunge over to the side. Remember, you're driving this right shin down. Inhale. Exhale. Lunging over. Keep the knee pressing back, buttocks pressing forward. Inhale. Exhale. Lunge over. And let's lean over the thigh. So forearms on the thigh. And we take the arm to the diagonal. So we're replicating, again, that lateral angle, the long line from fingertips through side waist to the outer knee, just as we do in Parsvakonasana. And inhale, come up, and we'll bring the brick so it's directly in front of the foot, and this time we'll take the hand down to the brick. Drive the right shin down, inhale, exhale, lunge over, reach your hand to the brick, and take your top arm up. Perhaps you can take it over, so you're creating that lateral angle. And can you feel, yes, you're lengthening the top waist, but endeavour to keep this lower waist long as well. You're not shrinking there. And turn your chest. Drive the right shin down, revolve the right chest up. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Let's again sit in Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose, unless your knees don't like it, in which case you can just sit with your legs out in front of you. But again, just a moment of resting the legs before we move on. Now, let's come up again. We'll leave the brick there for now. Come back onto your left shin, and as you lunge over to the side, you'll note your inner foot and outer foot can press to the floor evenly. But now pull yourself back and straighten the leg. And just notice what happens to your inner foot, to the toes, to the ball of the foot. can depend a lot on the flexibility of the front of the shin here and the front of the foot as to whether you can get that plantar flexion action with the toes pointing. And for some of us, the toes lift up, perhaps the inner foot lifts up. So that's why we often use a brick underneath this foot. Let's bring a brick here underneath the ball of the foot and make sure that when you press into the brick, you're able to peel the toes back off the brick. So you're keeping the foot active, the arches of the feet active, and you're working with the quadricep left here. Drive the shin down. So this left shin's pressing down. Make sure your knee is vertically underneath your hip. Stretch your arms out. Parighasana, the gate pose. Inhale. Exhale. Let's reach over, hand to shin. So we'll keep the hand resting on the shin for now, and top arm up. Let's go over. Turn the chest up. Pause there as you take a breath or two. And then we're going to come forward. So let yourself lean forward. The hips can move back somewhat, and bring both hands onto the floor in front of the mat, in front of that right foot. Just get the sense of lengthening. It'll be more the back of the waist now, but also the side of the waist. And as we come back into Parighasana from here, remember we're driving this shin down, left shin down. Can you turn the right palm up on your shin and sweep your left arm over and rotate your chest as you press your hips forward. Let's do that a couple of times. Come forward again, left fingertips to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arm over as you turn your chest up. Once more, come forward and drive the left shin down. Inhale, sweep the arm over, turn the chest, inhale, and come all the way up. Let's swap sides. Take your brick. And again, just for interest's sake, let's, without the brick, try straightening the leg and seeing what happens to the foot. Can we go with the plantar flexion of the foot? So lunge over to the side first. Then as you pull back and straighten the leg, can you keep your toes pressing into the floor? For a lot of us, it's quite difficult. And maybe even the foot starts cramping. So if you can manage to keep your foot in that plantar flex position, by all means, come into Parighasana like so. But if it's problematic, use your brick. So you've got the ball of the foot on your brick. The toes are peeling back off the brick. So again, the foot's active, the arches of the feet are active, and the quadriceps are active. So we're gripping the kneecap. Drive the shin down. Press your hips forward. Stretch your arms out. So as your hips press forward, zip the navel up. Keep some tone in the pelvic abdominal area. Inhale. Exhale. Over to the side. The hand can come onto the shin, similar to Trikonasana. Top arm up and over. Rotate the chest. Turn the right chest up. Keep driving the right shin down. And now come forward. So as you lean forward, you can allow the hips to move back a little bit so you can get hands to the floor. They're on the floor in front of your mat. And feel the lengthening through the back of this right waist. And then as we come back into Parighasana, turn the left palm up onto your shin there and sweep right arm over as you turn the chest up. Now, let's come back again. Fingertips to the floor, just on that right hand. Drive the right shin down. Inhale. Sweep the arm over. Press your hips forward. Lift the navel up and forward again. Last time. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale. Sweep the arm over sideways. Turn the chest. Drive the right shin down. Inhale. Come all the way up. And again, let's have a rest for a moment. Sit in Vajrasana. Thunderbolt pose. You will note I've taken my mat back to the wall and now I've got a chair. We're going to explore another lateral flexion. And if you don't have a chair that's got an empty back, you could potentially just use a standard dining chair and have it turned sideways. We're going to be bringing the calf muscle onto the chair and putting the foot against the wall. So you see, it's quite doable with a normal chair. However, I am going to turn my chair around and I'm going to use this blanket underneath my left shin. So again, if I'm mirroring you, come onto your left shin and make sure that the front of the foot is also supported. Take your right leg through the chair. Now, if you're perhaps shorter in the thigh relative to the height of your chair, you may need to build your height up. Maybe you put 2 or 3 blankets underneath your shin, or a couple of bricks and then a blanket, so that you're not struggling to get your leg through. So we've got the foot pushing into the wall. It's like a Trikonasana leg, turning the thigh out, kneecap and toes facing the ceiling now. And let's stretch the arms out. Now, remember earlier when we were doing Parighasana, we were reaching to the wall with our brick in hand. Same idea. You could get your brick in hand, or maybe you can go to the wall. Drive your shin down, left shin down, inhale. Exhale, reach over the leg. Perhaps you can bring your hand to the shin, and maybe you can go even further and bring your elbow to the chair seat. Top arm up and over. Can you reach to the wall? And notice, is there a compromise when you reach? If there is, just note that. Can you turn the chest back up, keeping the fingertips on the wall? If not, get your brick into place. So revolve the chest up, but this femur bone feeds into the pelvis as the pelvis tilts over the femur bone. Look up. You pull on the chair with your hand, roll this right shoulder back. And inhale, come up. And let's swap sides. You may need to bring your chair forward. Come onto your right shin and step your left leg through the chair. Foot on the wall, so that helps create some stability. Kneecap and toes face the ceiling. So just watch your thighs not rolling forward, your buttocks not lifting up. Roll the left buttock down, tailbone down. Drive the shin down into the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Reach out to the ankle along the shin. And if you can go further, you can try bending the elbow to the chair in front of the leg. And as you lean over, feed this femur bone into the pelvis, and you're tilting the pelvis over the femur bone. Top arm up. You can maybe hold the arm of the chair if that's helpful. Reach the arm over, fingertips to the wall, or use your brick between the wall and the hand, and put pressure against the wall to help you turn. Right chest up. Drive the right shin down. Keep breathing. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. And let's have a rest. Rest with your forearms on the seat. Big toes touching, knees apart. Forehead on your forearms. Steady your breath. If you like practicing with me, go over to my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au, and check out my video library. There's over 380 classes in the library. They're full-length classes, and you can start with a 7-day free trial. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. For more in-depth teaching, check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. The link is in the description box below.